Now, to know more, as we were saying, about how we turn this vision into action, please, again, have a warm welcome and put your hands together to our dear guest in this very important panel, Mr. Mariano Altemir, Mayor of Alquézar in Spain, and Mr. Amr Madani, CEO of the Royal Commission for Al-Ala. And of course, we won't forget the great moderator for this session, Carmen Roberts from BBC Travel Show. Welcome, and please have a wonderful session. You may start.
Thank you very much. But before we start, let's have some housekeeping notes. When English is spoken on your headsets, Arabic will be on channel 1. Now, when Spanish is spoken, English will be on channel 1 and Arabic on channel 3. Okay? So great. Well, let's get underway. We want to shine the light on 2 of our best tourism villages. We've got our host nation, Al-Una, and also one of 3 Spanish villages, Alquézar in Spain. So both of these are historical, ancient historical destinations, but you've both embraced tourism so very differently and very successfully. Let's start with you, Amir. What is the secret to your tourism success?
Thank you very much. First of all, I have to say there is a lot more energetic stuff that happens on this stage at night, okay? Concerts and dancing, but for that you'll have to visit us. And I'd like to first welcome you all to Al-Ula, Your Royal Highness, our Deputy Minister, Princess Haifa, Your Excellencies, and our fellow villages leaders and sector partners. To me, success is an accumulation of many things that have to come together. Clarity of vision is probably number 1. We're very blessed to be living in a time where Saudi Arabia is a leading economy in the world today with His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman, Saudi Vision 2030. The Crown Prince, the chairman of the Royal Commission for Al-Ula, has made it very clear through this ambitious plan that we will diversify our economy. We'll make it more innovative, more inclusive, and there is no better sector than tourism that can help achieve this. We are going to triple the contribution of tourism with the leadership, of course, of our Minister of Tourism here, from 3% to 10%. So clarity of vision is number 1. Total inclusivity by not thinking about people with CSR programs, like an additional luggage, by thinking about people as the source of wealth creation, by putting them at the core journey of development, and of course, by clearly differentiating yourself from everybody else. The pie is increasing, but you have to be different. You have to innovate, and without that, people will not buy your product. And of course, having a wonderful team of international young Saudis to help this become a reality.
Yes, this is my first time here in Al-Una, and you are definitely doing something very different. Why the modern take?
I think in Al-Ula we look at how we succeed is how can we basically renaturalize the world, the natural world, bring it back to life, restore heritage, but definitely remember that we live today to add part of the future legacy because we live today.
Yes.
We want to make sure that when everybody does an archaeology, 1,000 years from now, they see something different than the past. We have to leave our footprint. And I think tourism has suffered globally that modernization and development has looked always as an enemy of restoration and conservation. And I think this is an old model that doesn't work. I think modernization means using technology to have better conservation, enabling people today to cherish the past, but offer new products that have today's contemporary feel of the past. And I think we have a secret recipe in Al-Ula. We call it Journey Through Time, where we believe Journey Through Time is not only backward, but also forward. It will remain, and I think we use a motto inside the Royal Commission for Al-Ula by saying, we will never get modernized, we will just age with style.
And also aging with style is Mayor Altemir in Alquézar. So tell me about your efforts. You have also embraced tourism, but in a very, very different way. Tell me the secrets to your tourism success.
Bueno, buenas tardes a todos y en primer lugar pues agradecer mucho a toda la organización, a las autoridades que han hecho posible este evento y desde luego me quedo sorprendido del sitio donde estamos realizando esta jornada. Bueno, pues y después, yo también decir que aquí me acompaña el alcalde de Rupit, el alcalde de Guadalajara no ha podido venir, son 3 localidades que están en España que han venido aquí y que bueno, pues estamos súper orgullosos de venir. Nosotros, nuestro estilo es una cosa ya de historia, de mucha historia, los 3 núcleos. Daros cuenta que la colegiata o el pueblo medieval de Alquézar se constituye a partir del siglo IX. O sea, es una cosa que ya teníamos un patrimonio heredado importantísimo y que nosotros poquito a poco hemos ido puliendo ese patrimonio tan importante que teníamos de nuestros descendientes anteriores, ¿no? Creo que es importante la labor que hemos tenido que hacer de contribuir todos a que ese patrimonio heredado se conservara con autenticidad, no con falsidad. Entonces, eso era muy importante para nosotros. Y claro, si eso lo añades a que estamos enclavados en un sitio que es un parque natural de deportes de aventura, de barrancos, de cañones, con también lo que es el tema de un parque cultural, patrimonio de la humanidad por la UNESCO, y teníamos una colegiata también que es una costilla fortaleza, pues teníamos muchas patas de una mesa para contribuir a que esto fuera adelante, ¿no? Pero ha sido un esfuerzo muy importante, no solo de las corporaciones municipales, que yo he tenido el honor durante 32 años de dirigir, sino que también de esas corporaciones que están conmigo apoyándome en la labor importante de saber gestionar y convencer y gestionar las voluntades de los vecinos de los pueblos. Y bueno, y eso ha sido un éxito que poco a poco, y sobre todo yo nunca he pensado de hacer una labor importante en 4 años, una legislatura que es la que tiene el Estado español, sino pensar que es un proyecto de mucho futuro y a largo tiempo para que esto saliera adelante. Si pensamos que queremos hacerlo todo eso en muy poquito tiempo, tendremos un rechazo seguro de la sociedad, de nuestros pueblos, que no entenderán ese cambio tan importante que va a surgir en el momento que llegue a haber mucho turismo o sean sitios, destinos turísticos. Y desde luego, bueno, pues es un esfuerzo muy importante. Y sobre todo buscar muchos consensos para que esto salga adelante. Consenso significa desgaste principalmente del alcalde también.
Yeah. So I think Amir mentioned it before. Community is really key. How important is this? You know, I looked up some statistics. Alquézar has 300, a population of 300, and the old town here in Al Una is around 5,000. Is that too much? Or is that an accurate figure? How do you retain the skill base? How do you retain your people?
In my opinion, I think this community aspect of the challenges that we're all addressing should be turned around to be seen principally as a framework of opportunity. And I think people returning back to the villages is the only way villages can come up. Al-Ula is historically known as Wadi al-Qura, the valley of the villages. It's a series of villages connected by a culture oasis. So in total population, it's around 45,000 now. If you go to one of these villages, which is the culture oasis in the old town, I would say today less than 1,000 people really live in that part, and it will grow to probably 2,000 to 3,000. The community needs first an opportunity to engage before they need training. They don't need people to think that everybody needs training and we have to train you. I think you want to allow participation. People are smart. They have lived here. They know how to create wealth. They know how to create proper agriculture. So as a matter of fact, sometimes we decision makers could benefit from a little bit more training from the local community. So we need to not use top down. So what we do is we really go to people and we engage them. They will make mistakes, we'll make mistakes, and then we evolve our collective skill base together. Now, that being said, we are set to create new types of jobs, technologies, new expertise. So we definitely sit in partnership with Ministry of Tourism, some of the largest, most ambitious and focused capacity building programs, scholarship for people to go out not to only get the technical skills, because we can bring that here, but we need people to go and see how things are done. Be ambassador and create traffic back to us as well. We also run a community engagement program called Hammaya, which was sponsored by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince. And if you think about the word Hammaya, it means guardians of their own city. So we don't come to protect the city from its people. That's quite consultant type of advice, right? So we involved everybody to actually wake up in the morning, learn about the valuable things you have. You've forgotten how valuable they are. We've forgotten how valuable they are. The Crown Prince's vision has sort of awakened how valuable they are to all of us. Come and we trust you. We trust you that you will be a better protector than everybody else. So I think capacity building with local communities is best served when you engage them, give them a space to make their own decision, and allow training, but don't just count on that top-down approach.
Right. That's a valuable point, actually, that it's a two-way street. Yes. And Mayor, in Alquézar, just a few years ago, you were faced with a town that was going to have basically no population. How did you turn that around? How did you bring back the community?
Me atrevería a decir que ha sido como un milagro. Para que os hagáis la idea, en 1950 la gente no tenía futuro y no creía tener futuro. Y suerte a gente que se quedó ahí, que dijo, bueno, yo creo que luchando, mejorando, podremos tener futuro. Se consiguió una dinámica contraria anterior, de que la gente se iba a las grandes ciudades, no se quedaban en los pueblos pequeños, y hemos conseguido de que la gente viniera y conociera Alquézar y valorara y apreciara Alquézar y quisiera Alquézar, que era importante, ¿no? Aquí en este camino no ha sido sencillo, pero bueno, aquí ha habido mucha gente que nos ha ayudado. En primer lugar, me acompaña un técnico de la comarca del Somontano, que es el vínculo comarcal de toda una zona que siempre ha apoyado a Alquézar, siempre. Y que después las diferentes instituciones, administraciones autonómicas y nacionales nos han ayudado. Eso es importante. Pero lo importante era cambiar esa dinámica tan mala, que era de que la gente, nadie creía en esos pueblos pequeños, y de que ahora hemos pasado a todo lo contrario. Ahora tenemos, con 350 vecinos, tenemos alrededor de 180.000 visitantes anuales. No había un restaurante y ahora hay 16 restaurantes, hay 5 hoteles, 2 albergues, 2 campings, para que veáis el volumen de gente que podemos mover, ¿no? Pero eso es importante, la gente tiene que pensar que hemos actuado en la autenticidad del patrimonio arquitectónico que heredemos, ¿no? De ese patrimonio que costó tanto a la gente crear. Esa trama urbana medieval que tenemos, esa fortaleza árabe, todo eso que estaba en ruinas, pues conseguirla y ponerlo en valor, ponerlo en ese punto que fuera la gente lo entendiera como una cosa para poder visitar. Y eso ha cambiado, pero no, como he dicho en la anterior respuesta, no es de 4 años, sino que esto es un trabajo muy largo, muy largo, muy largo. Y por eso la importancia de este reconocimiento y el orgullo como alcalde de poder estar con todos vosotros recibiendo este distinción. Es importantísimo.
I heard that you said you've got 35 restaurants, 2 hotels. I heard that you'd had to restructure the childcare system in Alquézar so that the women could work in these hotels and restaurants. Is that true, and was that easily done?
Eso es otra cosa muy importante. Hemos conseguido que antes era el trabajo que tenían estos pueblos de España, pequeños, principalmente la agricultura y ganadería. En ese campo de agricultura y ganadería la mujer pocas posibilidades tenía. Y entonces ahora con el sector servicios tenemos la gran posibilidad de que pueden adaptarse a un trabajo, ¿no? Y es necesario. Y si te analizas la situación, ves que el emprendedor, la gente que ha emprendido estos negocios, la mayoría son mujeres, con lo cual entienden que es una posibilidad de salir adelante y tener un futuro por delante, no para ellas, sino para sus futuros hijos o sus familias también. Pero también es una cuestión importante. Es importante tener unos conjuntos históricos bonitos, pero es importante tener el emprendimiento. Si no tenemos emprendimiento, no nos sirve para nada, porque la sociedad, el turismo, está deseando tener ese patrimonio, pero también disfrutar de la gastronomía, de la bebida, del alojamiento, de los guías de montaña, de barrancos, de naturaleza, de todo.
So we are running out of time, but I guess with my job, with the travel show, we look for off-the-beaten-track destinations, places that aren't so well known. But this isn't, as you all know, is not always an easy path. So for instance, sometimes with my job, I spend one whole day traveling. You know, we fly drones and sometimes we can't get the GPS points. It's the infrastructure, things like that. But obviously these challenges must pale into insignificance to what you have to face. Can you tell me some of the challenges? Maybe we'll start with you, Ahmed. What are some of the big challenges that you face? And how have you overcome them?
We're overcoming them as we go. And in general, to me, at least in our experience here, we had to be inclusive from day one. So bringing people back, some people have left the town, given up on the assets they have, and mind you, and we'll get to discover this more, some of the most integral, amazing natural and cultural assets in the world, and the last historical sites undiscovered. So these are very serious assets. So bringing people back to participate in a very inclusive manner while going fast. So I appreciate your comment, but I think we will go fast and we have to go fast. The economy needs to be built. How do you do that in a balance where people participate? Number two is how we appreciate that the competition is not as easy as people think. People's time is becoming limited. A lot of places are well developed. So how can we create a brand that's not single asset led, that is not a day visit, and how can it make sense to people where your competition is not the villages, your competition is also the mobile and the virtual world. So coming up with a differentiated value proposition is not an easy game. And I think in Al-Ula we're able to place ourselves just in the right space, where even by being developed to 5% of our vision, we're averaging at 3.8 night stay, and our spend per head is double what we anticipated, and we have sometimes within the year, people visiting 5 times. So I think you have to stay consistent developing the right brand. Number 3 is how to be sure that you're not doing it alone and connect with global partners and tap into other strengths. We are coming late in the game, which honestly, one of our biggest strengths. Our sites are intact. Our equation is starting with great potential.
And sustainability.
And that's where we can put sustainability, environment, and the business model right together. So we can ride this wave faster than competition. And finally, of course, is to have a competent team that can run this for a long time and building organizational and institutional excellence.
That's fantastic. Mayor, do you have the similar challenges? I guess, are you in competition, for instance, with the Barcelonas, the Madrids, those sorts of destinations that are very popular in Spain?
Bueno, yo creo que no es competición, yo creo que se acoplan todo, yo creo que es importante. Al final todos creamos una marca potente, en este caso es la tuya aquí, el territorio es tu territorio, nosotros es Alquézar o el Somontano, y yo creo que es un complemento al turismo. El turismo no quiere descubrir continuamente cosas. Yo creo lo que pasa que es importante el que esos gente que nos visita a nuestros pueblos después sean embajadores y hablen maravillas de esos sitios. Y eso es costoso, eso es importante, porque una experiencia buena puede ser una visita a un monumento histórico, pero tiene que ir también combinado con una gastronomía, un trato, una amabilidad, un personal que te atienda correctamente, y al final no competimos, sino al final yo creo que es buscar nuestras marcas, nuestro posicionamiento, y todo suma, todo es importante. Al final, daros cuenta, y habéis dado un dato importante, de que la población, casi toda la población, está en las grandes ciudades, abandonando muchas zonas rurales que se están despoblando en el mundo, ¿no? Y que esto nos surja a nosotros y que estemos en este foro es importante porque es una herramienta muy útil para el futuro. para que nosotros podamos tener vida en nuestros pueblos. Y eso es importantísimo, y eso nos lo va a dar el sector servicios, el sector turismo. Pero lo tenemos que hacer siempre buscando una marca, pero una marca que sea comprometida con un destino que sea aceptable, ¿eh? Si nosotros buscamos otras fórmulas extrañas, podemos caer en el error que han ocurrido en otros sitios, que al final ese destino que era atractivo deja de tener un atractivo.
Okay. Now we're almost out of time, but just finally at the end, how important was it to be included as a best tourism village? How important was it for Al-Ula?
And I think for the last 7,000 years, Al-Ula was part of global network of villages, all the way from the Incense Road main distribution to the 9th century AD major trading hub. So joining this village is bringing Al-Ulas back to being a global participant. We as village leaders should use this opportunity, and we intend in Al-Ula to do so, to learn and develop common practices together, create in a humble way new ways that leverage that everybody is now running away from big cities, noise. There is a lot of what people call FOMO, fear of missing out, pressure in the cities. In the villages, I think we should enjoy a little bit of JOMO, joy of missing out. Go away from the pressure, sit and enjoy what nature, culture has to offer. Luckily for all of us, all global trends show that this is a premium product. So for all the villages, we should raise the flag high, create optimism, and together make sure that during this transformational wave of people running away from cities, that ruler is not a destination, it's a destiny, and you said it very clearly in the opening video.
I like that, Jomo. That's great. And what about for Alquézar? Was this a big thing to be included in the best tourism village? How important was it for you to be included?
Atractivo. Bueno, yo pienso, hay que decir, sobre todo, tener conciencia colectiva. Es importante desde la administración local, la más cercana, autonómica, provincial, nacional y la población de la gente. Ahora hemos conseguido que esos aventureros que vinieron hace 3 décadas, 4 décadas a nuestros pueblos, ahora ya son aventureros, son turistas. Pero tiene que entender el turista que esos espacios son frágiles, y que esos espacios frágiles tenemos que intentar que perduren el tiempo. Esto no puede ser para nuestra generación, sería un error. Esto tiene que durar para muchas generaciones. El esfuerzo que se ha hecho territorios como el tuyo, como el nuestro, tiene que perdurar muchas generaciones. Es importante. Es un legado histórico que nosotros hemos recibido y que nosotros tenemos que dejar en mejores condiciones. Y reitero la necesidad de decir que somos territorios frágiles y que hay que concienciar, y que si hay que decir algún día que un determinado momento no se puede venir, pues no se podrá venir. Pero es que es importante que sembremos esa conciencia colectiva de lo importante que es tener estos territorios, de ser galardonados en esta organización. Esto es importantísimo, y que después eso es mérito de mucha gente, pero lo tenemos que mantener y conservar. Es importante.
Well, it's wonderful to see two such fantastic small villages doing so well on the world stage and prospering in the tourism sector. And don't forget, next time you're on holiday, to embrace the joy of missing out. So thank you very much for a lively discussion.